I am getting tired of going to work and have to spend 2 to 3 hours arguing, putting up with nurses' complaint. You know who you are. You know if you have been a nurse for so long, you have come across nurses that spend wasted time at the beginning of the shift just complaining about assignment, complaining about they had the patient before, complaining about they had admission last night, the night before. Just complain and complain and complain. Let's talk about it. Yeah, you already know what I'm going to say. I need likes, share, and comment. I know you have questions for me. Why not? Why not let me know what you want to hear? Hit that notification bell and make sure it says all so that when I post, you're the first one to get it. And also, hook me up with your friends. Share, share, share. Let's get into this video. If you want to survive in nursing, one of the things you got to learn is speaking up. Because if you don't, everyone will try you. And you don't want to come off as the angry bird or the one that always start an argument. And you may not. Just sit back and watch. There will always be somebody complaining about their assignment. They want consistent care, so that means you get back the same patient that you had the night before. But there are some nurses that will come in. I had that patient 2-3 days ago. I want my patient back. Well, honey, have you been here for 3 days? It's 3 12-hour shifts. You had 4 days off, and you mean to tell me you want to come in here and get your patient back? No, I don't expect to get the same patient if I have my day off. As a matter of fact, I'm glad if I don't get back the same patient that they dumped. I don't want to say dump, but sometimes you have, when I say difficult patient, you have a patient that needs your attention more so than your other patients, and you can't get to your other patient, and you need to see all your patients, but you need help, and no one is around to help. So on your day off, don't expect to come and get it, but sometime you might, because that's how the nurses who argue and complain, they try to switch it up. Oh, I don't want this one. Oh, I had her last time. The only way you can change if the patient decide they don't want you. And there's going to come a time, yes, many a times, it's simple as they just don't like me because I'm black. They just don't like the way I speak. They just don't like the way I look because I didn't rush to the bedpan. I was more trying to secure the other patient from falling, and I didn't jump and get her bed. Just simple things that could turn a patient off. They don't want you, and they'll tell the supervisor. Sometime the supervisor will be nice and change you, but in the middle, you probably won't get changed. So they have to deal with you, or if it's something serious, when the patients speak up. In other words, if the patient didn't tell the supervisor, I might go to a nurse and say, example, I really don't want that patient because she said she doesn't want me. And I might tell the other nurse, well, I don't want to switch. I like my patient. What can I do? But if the patient goes to the supervisor, go up to somebody above you, then the manager, charge nurse will change you. It's not something that's randomly done because it's out of your control. But the complaints, I cannot take the complaint. Complain about the assignment. I work with a nurse. As a matter of fact, I work with her all the time because we're travelers. We eventually see the same patient. Okay, yesterday she had a lot of admission. She had admission, I would say, not a lot. Sometimes you can, and the reason why I say a lot, sometimes you can discharge all your patients, which I don't like them giving me all the discharge. They should break it up. You get all the discharge, which means you're getting all the admission coming in to fill the slot. One of the things that we do as a nurse, and I think to prevent, sometimes I really don't want the admission coming in at the end. So if I have my 6th patient, I know I'm safe. I won't get no admission. If you discharge one, I may be in the rotation to have an admission. So the nurse is complaining. They complain about how many patients. They want to know, how come you have 4 patients and I'm getting 5? Because sometimes the numbers are, you have to divide, and one nurse may get 4 and the others may get 5. They complain about that. Well, I had Miss Jones yesterday. Well, if you have her yesterday, you're going to have her today. And you're going to have her again tomorrow because you're here. Until you leave, then we go into the rotation. But they don't want to hear that. They want to change the system. Some are so bold. And the ones that are bold, they're the staff. So there's nothing you can do as a travel nurse. They're going to erase your name. They're going to, after you do everything, then they're going to come and put their name because they want that patient. And what can you do? I was in a situation like that. When you speak up, it's not fair. I was the underdog. I'm the agency nurse. And the staff went to the manager, and the manager said, I'm the troublemaker. See? I'm the troublemaker, and I just wanted fairness. But that's how it is. So sometimes it's just keep your mouth shut. Just observe them and stay a distance. When I go in as a travel nurse, there's some things that you expect. You expect to be treated differently, unfairly sometimes, and you tolerate a lot. You learn to see things and overlook things the way the staff treat you. I go in with a mindset of I'm going to get the worst. If I happen to go in and I get fairness, I'm happy. If not, I know how to deal with the situation that I'm served. And it's that mindset that make you a stronger, a better nurse, that you can go into any settings and survive. So don't let it be a hindrance. Don't let people challenge you all the time. Don't let the complain. They'll complain. Why she's a travel nurse. Why should we give her the easy one? You'll hear it. They don't care. They say things in front of you, and you're standing there waiting on their assignment. And in the middle of you starting your assignment because you want to be prompt, you want to do your work, they'll pull from you and give you the other patient, so you have to start over. So these are conflicts that you have to get used to. But as far as the complaining, nurses will always complain. They complain everything. They'll even complain when they come in, they doing their overtime. Well, I don't need this money. I don't know why I come in. Yeah, why did you come in? You do need the money. They talk about, oh, I'm good. I don't need this money. I got a husband at home. I don't know why I came. I must be bored. They not bored. They need that money. Don't let them fool you. All that complaining is toxic. Because if you say something now, then it's going to blow up into an argument, and then you're working with all these negative, and you have to deal with the patient. So some of it will transfer. So when you come in and you hearing that nurse complain about the assignment, I just sit still. I just sit and wait and wait and wait and wait 2-3 hours till they get it together, because they will eventually. And some nurses, they will complain even until 7 p.m. Everything is never right for them in their life, I think. I think most of the time they bring the situation at home and it just trigger everything. And you, ray of sunshine, they hate that. They hate when you laugh. Oh, Lord, you got to pray when you get in them nursing floor with some nurses. I'm trying to tell you, you have to do something. Whoever your spiritual belief is, you got to just shook it off and do this and say, I'm in. Protect me, because you're going to need it. How do we stop the complaint? I just walk away. Just give me my assignment. And I walk away. And some of the charge nurses, I feel they should just nip it in the bud and say, this is the assignment. I'm not going to change it. But they'll sit there and, okay, Becky, what do you want? So you want Mrs. C? Yes. Okay, you can get it. Just stop it. Say, this is the assignment. I made the assignment, and this is what it's going to be. And here I am. I'm trying to say, but I had that lady yesterday. What happened? They make up some kind of excuse if you're a travel nurse and you don't speak up. You're humble. You're peaceful. They want to disturb your peace. They'll give you anything you want, and you have to deal with. You'll have room 2, room 10, back to room 4, and then all the way down that long hall. Just deal with it. That's all I can say. How do I stop the complaint? Just walk away. That's all you can do. Walk away. I don't think they realize, the nurses that complain a lot, realize how toxic, how negative the environment becomes, because it arouses anger in a lot of people. Because when you come in and you always get your way and you see that the same person doing it, the same person have the same attitude, their moods stink, they just never happy, working around those kind of people can be uncomfortable at times. And I don't know, it just makes me become distant from them. And sometimes, I get angry because I know what they're complaining about. Other people, other nurses, other travel nurses who would have liked to be in this spot. And what they don't realize, they have a job. They have money coming in. If they didn't want it, they should have stayed home. Don't say, oh, I didn't have to come in. Well, why did you? Why did you come in? You had an admission yesterday. Today's another day. And if you want to be fair, the nurse that said it to me, if you want to be fair, I have 5 patients. You have 2 sitting right now on your phone, so you're the one getting admission. I don't care if you had it yesterday. I think it's only fair that you should have the admission, because you have 2 patients and they're not doing anything. And even though you had 3 when you came in and you discharged 1, And just because you have an admission, you want to throw it on me? No, I have 5 patients. That means I will have 6 and you will have 2. While you can do everything, you can plan your trip to Japan while I'm humping. No, it's not fair. Situation like those, when they complain, I don't buy it. I ignore them. I just said, I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. And if you want to take it up with the manager, go ahead. And sometimes they do. I remember I was in Boston and working with a nurse. And she said, you're getting the admission, Patrice. I'm like, why? I will have 6 patients. How many patients? I don't go around counting how many patients each nurse has. But it just dawned on me that she had 3 patients the whole time. Not doing, it's easy. 3 easy patients. I have all the diabetics and I'm trying to struggle to get, and you want to give me 6 patients while you have 3? As a matter of fact, you have 2. One of them is going home. You get the admission. And if we can take it further, if that's the case, that's when I speak up. So I went around the corner and we had a male nurse manager. Sometimes it's easier talking to the male manager than it is if it was a female. So I said, Bill, the admission is coming. Who's getting the admission? He looked on his sheet. He said, oh, Sandy's getting the admission. I said, well, you better go tell her. I don't mean to overstep my bounds, but she's saying I'm getting the admission. And I have 6 patients and no discharge. And she had 3. As a matter of fact, I didn't even say the number. He looked at it and he said, let me go around there and talk to her. And he said, you're getting the admission. She was angry with me the whole day. As a matter of fact, the whole week. But I didn't care. Fear is fear. Why should you sit and have fun while I'm running around just like this? That's not fair. So they will complain, but my patient is needy. Let me tell you a little secret. One of the things that I noticed, and I can't do it, I'm honest. I try to do it myself. Some nurses, they know how to stay busy. They know how to stay busy for 12 hours, not doing one damn thing. Sorry to curse. That is the fact. And I tried it myself. I try to stay busy. I could not do it if I didn't have anything to do. But this nurse, they will go to the travel and they say, I don't know how to do this computer program. And they get somebody to help them. That's going to take them 10 hours to figure out how to do orders, how to give medication. Before you know it, you're doing their whole work. I don't know how to chart on the computer. I don't know how to do this. How you give this? How you get into Pixis? They know how to stay busy. Or you may not see them for hours and hours and hours. Nobody asks for them. Because you don't have time to ask for them. The only way you know they're missing, if their patient keep coming to you. And I don't mind because it's a policy. The call bell goes off is everybody's responsibility. Not just the nurse. You cannot go to a patient and say, or sit back and say, that's not my patient. If the bell is going off, you have to get up and answer it if it's in your view. So after a while, when you keep doing that, you're wondering, where's that nurse? Where's the nurse for that patient? The patient is asking me for medication. I have to say, and I have done that. I said, I don't know what time you got the medication, or stuff. I can look in the computer and see it, but then I'd rather not. I'll tell you why. It's called breaking the seal. In the computer, in Epic, it's a computer software that we use They use a lot, Meditech, whatever. But this one, Epic, you have assign yourself your patient. Maybe it's 6 patients. Like I said, she had 3. And for me, her patient is asking me for meds now. I rather let them wait for their nurse to give the medication, just to make sure, especially with narcotics. I rather wait for the nurse to come around. But sometimes it may take hours before we see the nurse. And also another reason why I like to wait, because you have to break the seal. In other words, I have to go into her assignment and assign her patient to me, which means I break the seal. I'm responsible to go in there. I'm not doing anything. It's like a code thing, and you just put in your password and give them the medication. And in a case like that, I can see what time the patient got the medication, the narcs, or any kind of medication. Now, if it's a situation where I can't determine what time or did she get the narcotic, then I'm not touching it. I just say wait for your nurse, or ask the manager or the charge nurse to do it for you. So they know how to stay busy. I haven't learned that art. I haven't learned that technique. I have to do the work, keep busy. If I'm not, I'm sitting down charting. I don't like to, go off the floor too. But if you don't have phones or something, somebody calling you, somebody will, I don't get into all that. So watch out for those complainers. They're complaining, but they have nothing to do. They're just bluffing. They just don't want to do the work. And that's the bottom line. Stallers, I call them. Have a wonderful day or night in your state or your country.